Hi and welcome along to Arsenal podcast with me, Kosi, as the early Arsenal paper talk. We do it every day. We talk about what the bureaucrats and technocrats have written about Arsenal. And today, interesting, we have news about Said Benrahma, we have news about Mesut Ozil, we have news about almost every Arsenal target. And so, guys, sit down, let us get the party rolling. First and foremost, I'll talk about yesterday's game, 3-2 loss against Aston Villa. You guys say that was a bit more, very harsh, but I wasn't too harsh. I just say that we lost to Aston Villa with our best side on the pitch. It was preseason, and I understand, but it's just 7 days away that we can play Fulham. So we are going to the Craven Cottage, in 7 days, and then we lose to Aston Villa. Are we building morale? But anyway, Mesut Ozil is back as well on the pitch. Is he going to play for us? And is he going to be our number 10? If we don't get our Benrahma, I don't know whether Mikel Arteta still has plans of using him. But me as a person, I think it's time up for Mesut Ozil. Maybe if Mikel Arteta thinks there is something more he can add to the club. And of course, if you think about it, it's getting a very big wage, 350k a week. If you can get some little football out of him this season until when he moves out of the club on a free transfer, I think that would be the better thing. But of course, good morning. Like the video, smash up the likes. Let us do this early Arsenal paper talk. So, first and foremost, yesterday we got a side Benrahma a boost. I just saw it today. West Ham are refusing to pay the 20 million valuation that Brentford are asking for inside Benrahma. And of course, Brentford have come out and confirmed that the player is going to be for sale. Actually, they have confirmed two players those two players are up for grabs, are up for sale, and that one of them is Said Benrahma. So probably Arsenal is the only club being waited for in this deal. Go in there, get Said Benrahma, and probably begin the season. I don't know whether we shall go for him. I don't know whether we are going to wake up one day, and pay the money. 20 million pounds is what Brentford value the player at. So, for me, I'm still waiting for it. Are we gonna pay the money, or aren't we gonna pay it? But today in the papers, Brentford has confirmed they want to sell, and of course, West Ham are saying we are not paying 20 million for Said Benrahma. If I look at his valuation, 25 years of age and 20 million. If I look at his statistics as well, last season 41 games, and he had a couple of goals, a couple of assists as well. I would rate him at 15, 17 million because he was in the championship anyway. And he's not English, so he wouldn't be so expensive. I would take him at 17 or 16 million. That would be the valuation. But of course, West Ham are saying they're not paying the 20, and Arsenal are still quiet about the deal. What's going to happen? Man, Griezmann is linked again to Arsenal. Interesting. Now, the last time I saw Griezmann linked to Arsenal was way back when he was still playing with Real Sociedad. You guys still remember before he joined Atletico Madrid. After going to Atletico Madrid and then crossing over to Barcelona, our hopes of getting Antoine Griezmann were very, very slim and very, very, very few. So if you look at most of the steps that have been taken to get Antoine Griezmann in the past 2-3 years, it is zero, none. We don't get, we can't get Antoine Griezmann. He's very expensive. Probably the wages are very high. And we need him. I don't want to say we don't need him. We need him. He's a striker, super striker, number 9. If you put him in that number 9 role, it's gonna work for you. If you put him in a false 10 role, it's gonna work for you. Top quality striker. Would you prefer to have him? Would you prefer to have the man himself, Antoine Griezmann, join us? But of course, we are linked. With the player. I don't think we have chances of signing. Because if I look at the chances of Arsenal signing, Antoine Griezmann, they are really very slim, really very slim. If you are struggling with 50 million and 60 million for two players that we take as our transfer priorities, how about the 100 million that would be asked of us, or 90 from Antoine Griezmann? So I don't think really it's going to happen. Anyway, Griezmann linked to Arsenal, really beautiful story. So, about Aouar, we are still locked in talks now. It is reported that talks are intensifying, and we might actually expect something good in the coming days. Edu is still locked in talks with Lyon to see that we can get the man himself, Houssem Aouar. That story is all over the place, written by Football.London. That's where I picked it. Someone told me, why do you get, why do you read Football.London? Why do you read the Mirror? Why do you listen to Ligue 1? Where do you know? I have a choice to read and listen to whatever I want anyway, guys. So Football.London saying Edu is locked in talks with Lyon so that they can act. By the time he gets out of them, he wants to have Houssem Aouar. And of course, they have written something very interesting that Edu has already decided on the next 3 transfer targets for Arsenal. He has said, we have Houssem Aouar, Partey, as well as Anderson, Philippe Anderson, the West Ham playmaker. I don't think we shall get Philippe Anderson, although he has been offered to us, on a loan deal, 5 million. Why would I pay 5 million on a loan, for Philippe Anderson, for a loan deal for Philippe Anderson? What is really, expensive about Philippe Anderson to cost me 5 million on a loan deal? 5 million. On a loan deal, I wouldn't take him, at that cost. I would take him at, I think 1 million on a loan deal, and I'm covering half wages of the player, and West Ham cover the other half because it's getting 140k a week. So that story is also there. But what's interesting about the Houssem Aouar deal is Lyon are refusing to chase us, and this is really interesting. Yesterday, Ligue 1 again did a very wonderful piece of story when he said that the player wants EPL. I did this story before, and you guys was shouting with all the with all your might, cause this is a lie, cause it's not true. Houssem Aouar didn't say that he wants to come to EPL. Here we go, 44k subscribers, a channel, a big channel like that. Ligue 1 did the same story, and the player wants to join the EPL. The only club linked he's linked with in the EPL is Arsenal. Manchester City have already pulled out of the race. They are saying we are not getting Houssem Aouar, we are not going for him. And if you ask yourself, why would Manchester City go for Houssem? That's the big question. Why would they? They have Kevin De Bruyne, they have Silva, they have Ferran. I don't think they would go for Houssem. And Juninho, the sporting director at Lyon, yesterday gave us an interesting update, a very big boost, when he said that we are going to sell any of the 3, Memphis, Dembele, and Houssem, but not all. And then I said, how many of these 3 are linked to the market strongly? If you are gonna be honest, Juninho, how many of these 3 are really linked away from with the move, with a move away from Lyon? It is Houssem Aouar, one of those players that are linked strongly to Arsenal, and then Moussa Dembele ain't linked so much. Linked with Arsenal before, linked with Manchester United before the deals are off. Memphis Depay, maybe his contract is running down, and he will move as a free agent next season, or maybe Dortmund can come for him because they have already, showed interest, but they are saying they would get him if Jadon Sancho crosses over to the EPL. So if Manchester United don't get, Jadon Sancho, you're not going to sell off, Memphis Depay to Dortmund. So I think the only player that Lyon have to sell is Houssem Aouar, and I'm telling you this from time to time, guys, that his valuation is going down. When we entered into the transfer summer, when he was still in the Champions League, doing a lot of wonders, he was 70 million. Think about him, you think about 70 million. The Champions League is over, semi-finalists, kicked out, of the competition. There we go. 60 million now. And now it's 50, 54. If Arsenal can just table 54, we can get him. And I still believe, even if we don't table 54 million, and we just wait for 40, wait at a time when Lyon can, be comfortable with 45, or 50 million pounds, we're not gonna get him. So we are still in talks. We're still in talks with Houssem Aouar to see that we actually bring him at the Emirates Stadium. Any updates about Thomas Partey? That's what you guys are gonna ask me. No, apart from us, being waited for to pay the money, there isn't anything about Thomas Partey. However, I was watching AFTV, and Robbie was giving us an interesting piece of thought. Messi's decision to stay at Barcelona could actually force Philippe Coutinho to get out of there. What do you think about that, guys? What do you think about that? Because basically, the sequence was that Ronald Koeman could use him at Barcelona, but it seems Ronald Koeman is not coming out, to express his love for Philippe Coutinho. And and you guys, have it in your head that Ronald Koeman is gonna use him, but you don't have facts. And you guys are gonna come on the show and tell me, Coachy, Ronald Koeman is at Barcelona. It's going to use him. No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that he's gonna use Philippe Coutinho, and he probably wants to make his own team. He wants to get in his his own players. You link the poor guy to Coutinho and Van der Beek before you sign for for the job. Really, that's interesting. That's how mad interesting transfers are. But anyway, Robbie was saying that Messi deciding to stay at Barcelona, and of course he's deciding to go for a complete squad overall. That Barcelona should go for should clean everything in that squad and get in the players that have to come. Maybe Neymar, maybe Kevin De Bruyne, maybe Mane, the Gigi Van Aldams, and the Thiago Alcantaras of this world. So probably, you never know. If Barcelona are going to go for a complete squad overall, and Messi is demanding it, for his stay, probably Coutinho could actually be one of those players that are going to leave the club, and he might fall into the hands of Arsenal. We have had talks with his agent before. We have had talks before, but nothing is really coming out as for now. Diawara, no update. There is no update about Amadou Diawara, so I'll have to wait for that. Until, of course, we can get anything about that. But of course, Eddie Nketiah, I've been seeing something here. Eddie Nketiah could be out on loan, and this is really baffling. I thought he was what a wonderful player. Arsenal wouldn't let him go, but it seems Arsenal are trying to process a loan deal for the player, and probably we have to wait and see whether he's going to be getting out of Arsenal on loan. Would you want Eddie Nketiah to go out on loan, or would you want him to stay? For me, I think he's one of those players that are really developing so much at Arsenal, and I would let him stay at the club for this season and see is he going to really develop with Reece Nelson, Balogun, and of course so many other players. So early Arsenal paper talk, that's what's really happening. Apart from us losing yesterday 3-2, and of course linked with Benrahma again. We have a Benrahma boost. We shall be talking about more about Benrahma in the next video. So I'll be talking about Benrahma, and then I'll come and talk about other transfer news. Of course, we shall analyze the Fulham game and so much more. Thank you for staying with me this morning. Have a nice morning.